Good morning. I am Mrs. Elizabeth Dooley, Assistant Principal of Staunton River High School, and I would like to welcome the members of the graduating class, their families, and friends to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. Please tune in to 95.1 FM on your car radio to hear the graduation ceremony in real time, or go to the BCPS YouTube channel for live streaming on your personal wireless device. I would like to remind each of you that continuing to provide a safe environment for this afternoon's festivities is our utmost priority. We have a few housekeeping announcements. First, please remain in your vehicles during the ceremony. The only time you should be outside of your vehicle is when it is time for your graduate to come forward or if you need to use the restroom facilities. When it is time for graduates and families to move forward, please maintain social distancing and wear your masks as a precaution and to exhibit respect for others. Please abide by all these graduation protocols, and we hope you enjoy today's program. We thank you for honoring our students and abiding by these guidelines. At this time, I would like to introduce the 2020 Senior Class President, Ms. Julianne Hughes.
Wow, it's so nice to see people that I'm not related to again. I never thought we would be able to come together again, even if it is from 6 feet apart. On a more serious note, I would like to welcome all the friends and family who have come together to celebrate the class of 2020. I first want to address the elephant in the room, congratulating myself on being the best class president. Now I know some of you may kind of be in shock, as you may not have even known I was class president, but I promised that we would have a great senior prank and a memorable senior year. Well, hello, COVID-19. We have been able to do something no other class has been able to do in history. Get rid of a quarter of our school year. Now that's something no one was expecting. Our senior year may not have been ideal, as we missed our senior prom, senior skip day, and many of us missed our final season of school sports. But who else can say that both Obama and Oprah gave them a commencement speech? The coronavirus only took away a 16th of our high school experience. So if you ever are having a bad day, just remember that all bad days make good stories in the future. Please do not let this be anything more than a bump in the road. I want to end my welcome by thanking all the wonderful people who helped us along the way. You know, the standard mom, dad, grandpa, grandma type of deal. But mostly I want to say thank you to the teachers and administrators. That's right, you know who you are. The teachers who got their assignments online, especially the ones that not only had a Quizlet, but also an answer key, if you were lucky. The teachers who nicely nodded and accepted that late work you procrastinated doing, they are the real heroes. They made it possible for us to walk up here and accept our diplomas today. Well, diploma covers anyways. Our days of walking under linky awnings to get to our next class in 4 minutes while still finishing last night's homework may be behind us. But I hope the lessons that we learned while at Staunton River High School are not. I am not referring to the lessons on the judicial system or on quadratic equations. I am talking about life lessons. These lessons may all be as different as every class in our class of 2020 is different. However, like the class of 2020, I hope we all have learned that people from every different background and lifestyle can come together as the Golden Eagle family. So on that note, go get 'em Eagles. I'm going to be representing Emily Nellinger while we stand for the pledge. Do I say it?
Please stand with me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag here at the stage or over at the fire station. Gentlemen, if you will please show honor by removing your caps or hats. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and please be seated.
Good morning, graduates, parents, families, friends, faculty, staff, and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 2020 Staunton River High School graduation ceremony. How great it is to be together once again as the Golden Eagle family. It is exciting to honor the class of 2020 today and recognize their perseverance, hard work, and dedication over the past 13 years. This great accomplishment would have not been possible without all the love, support, and guidance that has been provided to our graduates by parents, family members, teachers, administrators, and other individuals throughout the years. At the beginning of the school year at our first faculty meeting in August of 2019, not knowing the extreme impact that the COVID-19 closure would have on all of us at school, I spoke about exhibiting flexibility as a team through challenges and adversity. Wow, did we ever learn flexibility this year? I recall going through the doctoral program at Virginia Tech, having a conversation with my advisor, one of the professors that I respected the most. At that point in the program, I had worked with him through my first part of the dissertation and felt really good about moving forward. During that conversation, he told me, During that conversation, he told me that due to a very concerning medical diagnosis, he would be retiring immediately and that I would be reassigned another advisor. I remember vividly that I felt like I had been sucker punched right in the stomach. To go from being comfortable about this huge project that I was tasked to accomplish to not having any clue what the future would hold and not having the one person behind me that I knew would have my back was devastating. During that conversation, he told me something that has resonated with me to this day. He said, "Do not freak. Part of this study, part of life, is learning to bend with the wind. The wind is now blowing. Start bending." An old Japanese proverb reads, "The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists." The bamboo plant is known for its ability to bend when needed and adapt to change. It is also known as the fastest growing plant on earth and reaches full height in just 1 year. The plant's flexibility and ability to adjust to whatever conditions it faces directly correlates with it being one of the plants that is most used for construction, musical instruments, and clothing over thousands of years. Like the bamboo, we have all learned to bend and adapt to what life throws our way over the past few months. As a class of 2020, you have accomplished your high school journey during a time that was unimaginable less than a year ago. I hope you will continue to grow from the lessons, experiences, and positive relationships that you have formed throughout your time in school and at SRHS. I hope you continue to grow like bamboo and bend with the wind when life throws you its unforeseen and unexpected storms. But do not bend alone. Surround yourself with other strong character individuals and lean on your parents and your family for guidance and bend with them through life. One bamboo stalk may eventually break under immense pressure. However, many stalks bound together can withstand the pressure exponentially. You are always a part of the Golden Eagle family. You have achieved success at SRHS. It's now time for you to find success as you go to college, into the workplace, and as you serve your country in the military. In closing, I am extremely proud of each of you, and I wish you the very best in your future.
Good morning. Ooh. Okay, it is an honor to introduce our guests from the Bedford County School Board members. Chairman, Mr. Martin F. Leamy. Vice Chairman, Mrs. Susan Falls Kirby. Mr. Jason W. Johnson. Mr. Richard P. Downey. Dr. John H. Hicks, Jr. Dr. Susan Mealy. Mrs. Georgia Hairston. Mr. Marcus Hill. And our Bedford County Public School Administration. Dr. Douglas R. Shook, Superintendent. Dr. Karen Woodford, Chief Learning Officer. Dr. Mac Dewis, Chief Operations Officer. Mr. Randy Hagler, Chief Financial Officer. Dr. Tony Francis, Director of Adolescent Learning. Dr. Leanne Calvert, Director of Recruitment and Retention. Mrs. Kelly Jennings, Director of Special Services. Honor, Director of Human Resources. Dr. Ed Hoisington, Director of Technology. Dr. Jennifer Miller, Director of Childhood Learning. And our Staunton River High School Administration. Principal, Dr. Josh Cornett. Assistant Principal, Mrs. Rebecca Pierce. And Assistant Principal, Mrs. Elizabeth Dooley. Thank you. At this time, we would like to recognize our classmates and graduates who have enlisted in the military services of the United States of America. Please stand as we honor you. Thank you.
I hope y'all are having a good day. After maintaining a 4.1 GPA through my years here at Staunton River, that meant I was eligible to speak to you all today. I was excited at first, but then I was a bit underwhelmed that my speech was to reflect on the senior quote. That is, until they decided what it was. So no one told you life was going to be this way. What could be more fitting for not only our class's leap into the real world, but also the current state of that world? One thing I've learned is you can never predict the future, and if you try, you're most likely wasting your time. I think back to my days at the middle school, dreaming of when I could drive on my own, make my own money, or even go on a date. I over-fantasized what it would be like to be a young man, and in turn, often found myself feeling or guilty for not taking advantage of my newfound freedoms. But now, I regret not appreciating those younger days as much as I should have, but rather than worrying about what I wish I could have changed or what I hope will happen in the future, I find it is best to live in the present. I never really thought it would end up this way, but I truly don't have much to complain about. Many friends have come and gone along my journey, and I'm sure many more will come and go in the future. The ones that are here for me now seem to be the ones worth keeping around. And although we've had our arguments, I am truly lucky to have a family who has done nothing but nurture and support me my whole life. Throughout my time at Staunton River, I had taken a myriad of classes ranging from quite challenging to quite uncomplicated, from quite interesting to quite dull. The hardest classes I've taken may have stressed me out, but they helped prepare me for college. And though some may have been somewhat dull, that was often just due to my own personal disinterest in the subject. However, this combination of classes has provided me with a well-rounded education, and I'm more than prepared to go on to community college. But at the end of the day, I never would have dreamed my senior year would end up being cut short. I feel so sorry for all the athletes and anyone involved in extracurricular activities. I feel even more sorry for anyone whose life has been more directly affected by the virus, but I couldn't let any of that ruin my life because I always felt I would be happier once I graduated. Instead of letting the time alone drive me insane or make me sad, I worked hard on learning to be more comfortable alone. The teen experience is often glamorized to present us as always having fun or partying, which puts an unnecessary expectation in our minds. It is completely okay to be alone sometimes, to read a book, to draw some pictures, and to just work on yourself. So that's exactly what I did, and I'm truly happier for it. In conclusion, I would have never guessed I would be the boy I am today. I could have never predicted all that I experienced and learned up to this point to make me even more of who I am. So I'm going to stop trying to predict my future and want what I can't have, because I have a feeling I'll be all right. So no one told you life was going to be this way. No one could have told me if they tried, but I'm quite happy with the way things played out, and I hope you, my fellow graduates, are too.
Good morning. Before I begin, I would like to say thank you to everyone who gave me the opportunity to speak today. It has been a lifelong dream, but I never really thought that I would have this opportunity. Next, I would like to take a moment to honor Mr. Forbes. Though we only spoke a few times, I know that he was one of the most kind and caring individuals at Staunton River. He was a friend to us all, and he gave us many stories to tell. Thank you, Mr. Forbes. Please join me in a moment of silence. I would like to begin by saying that writing this speech was the hardest thing that I've ever done. I had so much to say, but every time I sat down to put it into words, my mind went blank. What could I say to my senior class that would mean something and stay with you afterwards? I went through countless ideas trying to decide whether I wanted to be serious or inspirational or funny, because no matter what my friends say, I do have a sense of humor. But I ended up more confused than I was to begin with. I didn't want to give the follow your heart, you can succeed where others didn't speech, because you don't deserve to hear a speech that you could probably find in any graduation video on YouTube. The truth is that you, the Staunton River class of 2020, deserve so much more than the ordinary. No senior class in recent history has faced what we have in the last few months. Aside from that, however, Golden Eagles are special for their own reasons. We, a group of almost adults, because let's face it, no one is an adult at 18, some aren't even adults at 8. Agree with me? I believe this to be true. When I was younger, as many of you know, I had an extremely severe heat stroke that led to the development of several medical issues that still plague me to this day. I was told that I should not return to school, but instead start homeschool immediately. At the time, in middle school, the people I surrounded myself with the year after the doctors told me that I was able to make it through. Whether they distracted me, gave me advice, or just supported me, they all did something. Though your circumstances may be different from mine, I am sure that you can think of at least one person from the Staunton River family that has helped you through a difficult time. That's the thing about Golden Eagles, and why I said that you deserved more than a run-of-the-mill speech. No matter who you are, someone here has your back. Though I am a member of many organizations outside of this school, I have never met a group of people more connected than those who sit before me and those who were unable to attend today. It goes without saying that this year has been rough. We lost prom, baccalaureate, spring trips, senior nights, our final game of performance, an actual graduation, and more. All things that we watched the seniors before us experience just slipped right through our fingers, but we did not give up hope. In spite of everything, we remained connected. We turned to Snapchat, Zoom, Messenger, and old-fashioned texting. We even reenacted that movie with Cole Sprouse, but instead of 5 feet of separation, it was 6. These last few months have shown us what it will be like once we leave this ceremony, how separate, but yet still connected we will be. Many of us have been together almost as long as we've been alive, and now we must part. Now we must leave one another to adventure out into the great unknown. To succeed, we must also find a way to somehow remain together. In my search for something meaningful to say today, I found a quote from a novel, The Manhattanville Project. The way I see it, we are on our own. Our best option is to stick together. No matter how far apart we are, there will always be someone there with a shoulder to cry on, to listen to a 4 a.m. rant session, or to share a funny story with. No matter the distance, we will always be here. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who has supported us up to this point. You are the reason we are here. To our friends, thank you for helping us make the right decisions, for standing up for us when no one else would. To all of our teachers, principals, aides, and other individuals who worked with us from elementary school until now, thank you for guiding us into our futures, for helping us realize that we could do what we set our minds to, for giving us the necessary knowledge to progress, and for protecting us when things went wrong. To our relatives and loved ones, thank you for making us who we are, for shaping us in the way that only you can, and for believing in us when few would. Tomorrow marks the beginning of the new chapter in our lives. In front of me today, I see doctors, lawyers, teachers, veterinarians, members of the military, farmers, performers, artists, and so much more. Once we step away from this ceremony today, our lives officially begin. We may have already received our diplomas, started our careers, our families, or chosen a college, but that does not mean that we have moved on. Today, even if it's not the day we receive that slip of paper that says, "We graduated," is the day that we say goodbye. Not just to our friends, our school, and our teachers, but to our former selves. Fundamentally, we may remain the same, enjoy the same hobbies, wear the same outfits, keep the same opinions, but one cannot deny that we have changed. We can no longer ignore that our choices and our opinions matter. So today is the day we should say goodbye to the childlike innocence that made us wish we could make a difference, but blinded us to the paths we needed to travel. Today, we say goodbye to the self that believed that anything is possible, but also refused to take a chance toward making it happen. Time is the destruction and creation of all things. Our time as children has ended. Gone are the little toy cars, the stuffed animals, the dollhouses. But what matters most is not gone, our vision. In some way, we know what we wish our future to look like. Some of our dreams may not be attainable, but there are plenty that are. I know I said that I didn't want to give you the "you can do anything" speech because it's just been done so many times. But it's hard not to do that when I believe so much in all of you before me, when I know that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. Thomas Edison once said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." Since I know that a lot of you probably wished or are wearing overalls underneath that gown, and many of you don't shy away from work, there is nothing to stop you from seizing the opportunity Edison spoke of. In fact, you should be comfortable with it. Good luck, Staunton River Class of 2020, though I know you don't need it.
Y'all excited yet? Starting to get that tingling feeling in your chest? If you're not excited yet, you should be. Look, I know at this point we've been out of school for so long, it might be hard for some of us to fully realize the weight of what's going on today. But in case you've forgotten, today is your graduation. You finally made it. You made it to the other side of 13 grueling years of education. If you haven't taken the time over the past couple of months to really let that sink in, now's your chance. The class of 2020's graduation theme is, "So no one told you life was going to be this way." And I think that idea is certainly something the class of 2020 has become pretty familiar with at this point, right? We're the first class to be completely made up of kids born in the aftermath of 9/11. We're the first class to be this century to have gone through a pandemic. And we're setting another first record by living through our second national economic recession. Across the country, but especially here at SRHS, the class of 2020 has had it rough. Staunton River class of 2020 knows what it's like to work hard for things kids at other schools take for granted. Staunton River class of 2020 knows the frustration of fighting for things others are simply given. As a class, we've endured every kind of tribulation imaginable. The loss of loved ones, broken homes, neglect, depression, anxiety, substance abuse. If you can think it up, this class has been through it. Every single one of the graduates here today has had to overcome something to end up here. And every single one of them deserves to be commended for that. You don't need me to tell you how hard this pandemic has been for all of us because you've lived through it. You're going to hear a lot of people in the fallout of this pandemic talk about how things are going to get better soon. But for us, things are about to get a lot harder. We as a class haven't been given very many crutches in life. We aren't a spoiled group of individuals, but the few safety nets that we have had are about to be taken away. No matter when you turned or will turn 18, today is the day. If you're not scared yet, you will be. Your free trial has expired. The beginner lessons for your life are now over. There are no more guidance counselors asking what you want to do after high school. No more teachers to remind you when something's due. And for some of you, you're all on your own for the first time. I know that you're tired of having to hear about the responsibilities of being an adult because I'm sick of it too. But what you might not realize is that today will be the last day that you hear that message. I mean, unless you go to jail or whatever. Because adulting, it starts today. So, hopefully for the last time, being an adult is a huge responsibility because of the amount of freedom that you have. Over the next several weeks, a lot of people are going to give you advice about what they think you should do with that freedom. If at any time over the next couple of weeks you happen to hear the phrase, "If I were you," go ahead and throw up a couple of mental red flags. The first iPhone was released in June of 2007. That means that anyone who got a job, a place to live, or did anything else before June of 2007 did so without a slab of metal that could tell them most any piece of information they could want to know. Despite that, you're going to hear things like, well, things haven't changed all that much, you know. Back in my day, things were about the same as they are now. No, they're not. Are so radically different from the way things used to be, you can't even compare them. They're not in the same ballpark. Now, I'm not saying you should completely disregard all advice that you get. However old it may be, you should and need to listen to all of it. To take full advantage of the freedom we've been given, we're going to need as much information as we can possibly get. In the book of Proverbs, in chapter 15, verse 22, it says, "Plans fail when there is no counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed." With that said, it's vitally important that you understand that the decisions that you make from now on are completely yours. You should listen to anyone who is willing to give you advice and be open to applying what they say. But you shouldn't treat any of that advice as gospel. While you might not know what's best for yourself right now, ultimately, only you know yourself best and are best equipped to handle your own decisions. And if you don't really know what's best for yourself right now, you're not alone. While it's easy to think that the older people in our lives have it all figured out, lost is us, right? I think the pandemic did a great job of highlighting that. Never before have so many politicians, doctors, and professional people been exposed for not being able to do their jobs when it mattered most. Right now, one of the best attributes we can have is patience. The average American lifespan right now is 79 years. That means we still probably have 3/4 of our lives still left to live. You shouldn't feel pressured to act immediately on the major life decisions you're going to be faced with in the next few years. The next 10 years are going to be a great time for us to learn more about and experiment with who we are as people and what we want out of the rest of our lives. As nice as it would be to have those answers right now, it's going to take time, maybe quite a long time for some, before each of us is ready to leave this transitional period of our lives. Today we've come together not only to celebrate our time together during high school, but also the past 4 years of our life in general. While that's been made more difficult by the loss of spring sports, prom, and the many months we've spent apart, today has shown that the Golden Eagle spirit is something that will transcend our lives as high schoolers and stay with us into this transitional period. While many of us have already spent these past months looking toward the future and maybe already have their college, military, or workforce journeys well underway, I think it's important that we spend time reflecting on the years that have just passed. Many of us like to define ourselves by the clubs we were in, the sports that we played, and the grades that we made while in high school. But doing so after high school can lead to trouble later on. Don't get me wrong, being a great athlete or student is a wonderful thing, but one can't live the rest of his or her life being solely defined by those labels. No matter how athletic you are, unless you're Tom Brady down in Tampa, Florida, you're not going to be playing sports at a high level 25 years from now. No matter how good a student you are, or what kind of degree you end up chasing after, in 15 years, none of those labels will define you any longer. I bring all of this up to say that so many of the things that we identify strongly with today won't be able to bring us long-term fulfillment. It's easy to have the grass is always greener mindset, right? If I had more money, if I was a better player, if I was a little smarter, if I just had a better relationship, if I just had a better job, if I just had this, I would be happy. Ultimately, none of those things can make you happy. Sure, they can make your life better, but chasing after those things won't give your life meaning, not in the long run. Your future happiness will only come if you live your life in such a way where you're actively trying to be a better person and investing in your character. Kindness, honesty, a commitment to excellence, and to doing the little things right are critical to your future happiness. Those traits will endure no matter how old you get or how difficult times become. Let's face it, it's been really rough getting here. And we're going to have plenty more really rough times ahead. But no matter how challenging life may be, no matter how hard it may eventually get, today is our day. Today is your day. Today is our victory lap. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to take my sweet time going all the way around. Thank you.
On April 3rd, 2018, we lost a true Golden Eagle. Victoria Deal was a member of the class of 2020 and is truly missed. Please join me in a moment of silence in memory of Victoria. At this time, I would like to welcome the Deal family to the stage to accept Victoria's honorary diploma.
Good morning. I'm Rebecca Pierce, Assistant Principal of Staunton River High School. And at this time, I would like to share some procedural guidelines before I begin calling the name of our graduates. 2020 graduates, when the letter of your last name is called, please proceed to the first gathering area where the red tent is with your guidance counselors, with any guest from your vehicle you choose. Our guidance counselors are located there and will give you a card with your name on it. Once you've received your name card, proceed to the next red tent and give your card to Ms. Crevaro. After your name is called, you will proceed to where Dr. Cornett will be located to receive your diploma cover and be photographed. After you receive your diploma cover, proceed to the next photo area where your group will pose for a commemorative photograph with Miss Ellis. Upon completion of your photograph, please return to your vehicles for the remainder of the ceremony. When Dr. Cornett pronounces you as graduates, you will be free to exit the field. At this time, I ask all graduates with the last name, starting with A and B, and those family members who would like to accompany their student to exit your vehicle and report to the tent area where you will check in and line up for the awarding of your degree. Families, if you would prefer to wait for your graduate in the photo op area, you're more than welcome to come straight over here instead of walking over to the tent. Okay. Dalton Cyril Arnold. High honors graduate Avery Grace Atkins. That's fine. Terry Lee Adams, Jr. High honors graduate Kaylee Ember Brown. Y'all gotta tell me when I call the next ones. High honors graduate Caitlin Rose Bratton. Mackenzie Lee Blackburn. At this time, all graduates with the last name beginning with a C or a D, please report to the tent area. Colin Daniel Bates. Morgan Renee Bailey. Zachary Tig Allen. Kyron Shee Bowling. Wait a minute. Dustin Edward Baird. Lindsay Elizabeth Ball. High honors graduate Audrey Danielle Barnes. Addison Reese Brower. Landon James Bale. Devin Ryan Beatty. Lawrence Oliver Brogan, Jr. Alyssa Faith Carter. Holly Lynn Creasy, High Honors graduate. At this time, all graduates with the last name beginning with an E or an F, please report to the area at the red tent. Seth Patrick Deaton. Jared Tyler Deno. At this time, all graduates with the last name beginning with a G or an H, please report to the area by the tent. Brian Scott Dooley. Ricky Edward Patrick Davis. Olivia Faith Dickinson. Jennifer Cheyenne Caldwell. High Honors graduate, Katie Diane Davison. Michaela Ann Dickerson. Honors graduate, Elizabeth Rose Divers. Honors graduate, Abigail Christine Fralin. At this time, graduates I, J, K, and L last names, please report to the tent. Shane Brian Fields. Tristan Douglas Gregory. Capstone Diploma Candidate, Julianne Elizabeth Hughes. High Honors graduate, Elizabeth Ann Kessler. Samantha Grace Holdren. High Honors graduate, Lydia Galindo Torres. Raina Grace Hutton. Gabriel Linwood Guy. Colton Edward Hawkins. Haley Nicole Johnson, honors graduate. Glenn Austin Lamb. Graduates with the last names M and N, please report. Noah Jade Lawson. High honors graduate, Kayla Jane Lee. Timothy Richard Sheridan Carnes. Shane Edward Keene. Coy Davis Kirby IV. Alexandria Marie Jolly. Ashley Ryan Long, honors graduate. Sarah Allison Joden. Andrew Donald Moran. Trinity Alexis Mitchell. Darius Alexander Menace. Graduates, last names beginning with an O or a P, please report. Colby Dalton McGuire. Michael Hunter Minnie. Deja Nicole Mitchell. Graduates with the last name beginning with an R or an S, please report. Justin Michael Minton. Jared Lewis Mayhew. Matthew Keith Moran. Alan Lee Martin. With a T or a D? T. Thought so. Mirabella Aditi Masaryk, High Honors graduate. Faith Elizabeth Nolan. Honors graduate Cameron Ray Nichols. Hannah Brooke Overstreet. Honors graduate Autumn Hope Overfelt. Kendall Grace Satterfield. Autumn Nicole Robertson. High Honors graduates Sarah Ann Chenault. Joshua Caleb Pritt. Nathan Bradley San Juan. Graduates, last name letters T through Z, please report. Seth Michael Robertson. High Honors graduate and capstone diploma candidate Victoria Dawn Rogers. Emily Lynn Rector. Alexis Page Rout. Timothy Allen Rout. High Honors graduate Jonathan Rivers. Trevor Scott Spondrowski. Angela Grace Sheehan. Andrew Moore Stegner. Gwendolyn Page Sutphin. Joni Marie Scott. Jordan Scott Sweeney. Emily Kate Vincent. At this time, if there's anyone in the cars who did not come up to get their diploma and their cover, please report to the tent. Justin Michael Roach. Eric Michael Torres Velasquez II. Honors graduate, Kelsey Nicole Wilson. High honors graduate, Nadas Sky Thomas. Kirsten May Thompson. Mackenzie Elizabeth Wheeler. Got it. Brianna Shea Walker. Skylar Marie Williams. Gwendolyn Elise Walls. Destiny Renee Winan. Braden Lee Wiseman. Adam Chandler Warren. Audrey Gail Zeman. honors graduate Tyler Jordan Zimmerman.
Will the Golden Eagle class of 2020 please rise? By the power vested in me by the Virginia Department of Education and the Bedford County School Board, I now pronounce you graduates of Staunton River High School. You may turn your tassels and go get 'em Eagles.